Some positive economic data out of China helping global markets this morning. Manufacturing numbers surprising investors, coming in stronger than expected. You look right now, you see the Nikkei closed up by just over 1%. There were also gains for the Shanghai Composite and the Hang Seng. Eunice Yoon joins us right now. She's in Beijing. And Eunice, what's going on?
Thanks so much, Becky. Well, it was the November PMI data, and it beat expectations. This was for the Caixin Private Index, which tracks business conditions for small and medium-sized companies. And the number came in at 51.8, which showed manufacturing expanding at its fastest pace in 3 years. So this number came after the official number, which tracks large manufacturers and was released over the weekend, also showed a recovery. That's because of a rebound in output and new orders. The non-manufacturing PMI also jumped from an 8-month low to an 8-month high. So all of the stronger data could potentially give some more confidence to the Chinese negotiators to believe that they might have the time to continue to wait for better terms for a trade deal. In the state press today, yet again, there was no wavering at all in Beijing's position, especially when it comes to tariffs. The Communist Party paper, the Global Times, quoted a former Chinese official as saying that for the Phase 1 trade deal, having the U.S. roll back tariffs is a must. Also today, the Foreign Ministry announced countermeasures against the U.S. for its support of the Hong Kong Human Rights Bill. The Foreign Ministry said that as of today, China will suspend port calls for the U.S. Navy and sanction several U.S.-based NGOs for, quote, supporting what it described as extremist violent activities in Hong Kong. So China still isn't linking the Hong Kong situation to the trade talks, but you could imagine that the tensions aren't really helping the discussions between the U.S. and China.
Yeah, we're watching that, Eunice, obviously, and initially, once he signed it, I thought, uh-oh. But the reason the markets handled it so well was because there was sort of the body language that we still... We're not going to let this affect us. Yeah, no, this is we want a deal, and maybe China does need a deal. Maybe people like Kramer and others that point that out. That maybe there is something going to happen, even though Trump. It was a veto-proof majority that we had in the House and the Senate, so it wasn't going to matter anyway. So China, I think, knows that, and maybe that's part of it too. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people here, Joe, did understand that even if President Trump were to veto it, that it was going to go through anyway. So when I was talking to people here, they said, oh, he's probably not going to do much, just going to let it pass. But they have been reading his body language.
Yeah.
But even so, the Chinese, they want to have a trade deal. It's just the terms. That's what's really important. And so, we're just seeing it over and over again in the state media, in discussions, that they really want to have tariffs lifted. And that one official had said, it does, again, this is the same thing that we hear, that it doesn't really matter how or when it's lifted, if it's in phases or if it's all at once. But at the end of the day, it's a face issue. They want to make sure that there are tariffs lifted in order to make sure that they can market back home that China got something out of this as well.
Right.